start off with a video on how quickly germs can be spread in the classroom. The video features a classroom of about 30 kids, but only 2 of them have this special powder on their hands that glow under UV light. And basically it represents how quickly germs can be spread. The experiment was supposed to run the entire school day, but it only took an hour for it to spread to the entire classroom.
The powder spreads to every single child in the classroom.
Ooh, right here. Oh my God. Look at that.
Some had direct contact with Julia and Jonathan.
Your pinky is glowing.
Others, indirect contact.
I touched Julia's pencil.
You touched Julia's pencils. Oh, look at that. You got a big mark right there.
And eventually, it's all over their faces.
Ooh, you got a big glob of it right there. Do you see it? You got it all along your cheek. You can see you rubbed your nose. It's right there. And your eyelid. Wow.
Germs spread in a hurry. Just this week, 150 students and staff sick with the norovirus at this Boston school.
Okay, so clearly that was an elementary school classroom, but the same principles apply to adults and especially college students. You know, we're coming into contact with people every day, and things that other people have touched, like doorknobs, door handles, cell phones. So we come into contact with germs a lot, and the video was going to go into like how you can prevent contracting germs and preventing getting sick. But I want to ask you all, like, what are some ways that things you can do to prevent getting sick?
Washing your hands.
Washing your hands.
Not touching your face.
Yeah, basically. Other things like include healthy diet and exercise, but probably the most effective way is vaccination. Basically, a vaccine works by injecting a weakened or dead bacteria or virus into your blood, and that allows your immune system to create antibodies so that if you come into contact with that disease later on, you'll have protection against it. But without a vaccine, and if you do come into contact with something like the flu, you might get, it might be able to overcome your body's defense systems. So your body's really good at defending itself, but vaccines are just there as a little helper. But still, some people are really against vaccinations. Vaccinations. Because you're actually injecting the virus or bacteria into your bloodstream, there's a possibility that you may get sick. So some people say, you know, if I'm gonna get sick anyway from getting vaccinated, why should I? The problem with that is, you know, you may get sick from the vaccine, but you won't receive like the full-blown disease as like if you were to contract it from the real world. The most notable reason is the historical claim that vaccines cause autism, and that's just simply not true. That was just one report back in the late 90s. While there are 100 other reports that have disproved that claim, that Dr. Andrew Wakefield, he later withdrew his claim and also lost his medical license. There are other reasons why like people don't get vaccinated, like they hate needles, or it costs too much, or they don't have the time for it. But honestly, the benefits really outweigh the costs. Like, you know, you might hate needles, but it sucks to be sick for like 2 or 3 weeks too. A lot of times now, insurance companies will cover your vaccination fees or even waive it totally. And the time that you save from getting a vaccine, like that makes up for the time that you could be sick from work or school. But probably one of the biggest reasons why people don't get vaccinated is because they just can't, they physically can't, because they're immunocompromised, like whether you have an immunodeficiency disease or you're a transplant patient. These people can't receive a vaccine because like the bacteria in the vaccine might be too much for their bodies. And that's why it's really important for everyone else around them to get vaccinated. For example, there's this concept called herd immunity. So say like you have an immunodeficiency disease, so you can't receive like the flu shot. But if everyone around you has a flu shot, the chances of you coming into contact with someone that's infected is greatly diminished. And in a way, you're protected yourself. So I encourage you to think about someone you care about, or the people you care about, because most likely you're around them the most. And if you get sick, you'll probably end up getting them sick too. This girl I used to volunteer with, you've seen her before. The kids at Shands, we make sure that we're all up to date. The volunteers, we make sure we're all up to date on our vaccinations, because we wouldn't want anything to happen to the kids there that can't receive their vaccinations. And lastly, some people just don't know where to go to get vaccinated. But luckily there's more and more free clinics and clinics all around us that are popping up. And I know students here can get flu shots basically for free from the infirmary or from any pharmacy with your insurance card. You can call your local doctors to set up an appointment. You can get vaccinated for basically anything. College females should get vaccinated for HPV. That's a really big thing that's going around in college campuses. Flu, I pretty much get the flu every year that I don't have the flu shot. And it's really easy, it's really cost effective. The only thing stopping you is yourself. So honestly, think about someone you care about, because if you do get sick, you'll probably pass it on to them. And whether they're immunocompromised or not, it just sucks to get that person sick too. So if you can't get vaccinated for yourself, at least get vaccinated for someone else.